Shabbat Shalom, saints, and welcome back to Wakefulness Theology. My name is Messenger Paula, and I'm here with the next part. Actually, it's part 8, but it's the second part of what I talked about last week. We want to compare 153 with 666. So pretty much last week, I explained how fabulous 153 is. I'm in love with 153. This is so awesome. This is Yahushua's celestial number, holy letter of resurrection. It has properties that no other holy letter has. Okay, 153 is amazing. Okay, so we talked about that. We talked about why we're talking about this stuff in the last video, but now we got to just keep it moving. Just keep it moving. Keep it moving. Keep it moving. All right, we're comparing 153 to 666. Of course, we know 153 is representing Yahuwah. 666 is representing evil guy, evil, bad. Okay. And so last week I showed you the Trinity function. We went through the calculations and we showed how 153 always resurrects itself like Yahushua did on the cross of Calvary. After the cross of Calvary, 3 days later, he arose from the tomb, right? 153, boom, boom, boom. Hey, I'm rhyming. All right. 666, on the other hand, not so much. It tries to imitate, mimic, and mock, but you know what? It just can't. No matter what it tries to do, it just can't. So, boo. All right, today we're going to talk about the digital root function. Digital root function is very easy calculation. What you do is add the digits. So 1 plus 5 plus 3 equals 9. Very simple. 6 plus 6 plus 6 equals 18. 1 plus 8 equals 9. So you just keep adding the digits down until you get to the smallest quantity possible, one digit, and it's 9. Now, this is math, and it's called the digital root function. And in that function, they are the same. They both equal to 9. Hexagon numbers, on the other hand, Yahuwah, yes! 666. Let's look at it. Hexagon numbers. So these quantities can be arranged into the hexagon figure. And we talked about in the first video, can't remember anymore, but one of the videos we talked about how hexagon is a holy shape, right? Because hexagonal numbers are also triangular, okay? That's why. And we talked about triangular being holy because of the Trinity, 3, right? Hexagonal numbers are also triangular. Imagine a set of bowls in your kitchen cupboard. The largest one represents all triangle numbers. Then the second sized one, which is also in the first, but the second sized one is all the hexagonal numbers. And then the third bowl, the smaller of the 3, are perfect numbers. In short, this is a list of the hexagonal numbers, and we see that the 9th hexagonal number is 153, which is funny because we just talked about the digital root function being 9. So that is funny. So here we can see that 153 appears, but we don't have 666 because you know what? It can't keep up. So I guess the point they're making here is that 6 is a hexagonal number and 66 is a hexagonal number. So we shouldn't, by comparison, have the 6's be considered bad. They're not bad. 6 and 66 is not 666. There is a difference, okay? Just a side note. So we don't want to punish 6 and 66 just because of its appearance. All right, so the truncated triangle numbers, so 153 and 666, yes. So that when you have truncated, what it means is that you have 153. So you split the 1, yes, and then you move it over and then you split and you have 15. And then you have the whole thing as 153. And all of these are triangle numbers, and the same is for 666, but 666 is by default because it's the same digit 3 times. So here he shows you the truncated triangle numbers here. And So he's using 105 as an example. So this is 105. So when you cut off the first digit, you have a 1, and then you move this slash over 2 digits, and then you have 10, and then you move the slash over 3 digits, and you have 105, and 110 and 105 are all triangle numbers. So from a set of infinite possibilities, only 6 holy letters prove to be truncated triangle numbers in all of the infinite possibilities. So 153 is one of these. So among the 6 truncated triangle numbers, these are the ones: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 15, 36, 66, 105, 153, and 666. These are, in all of the infinite possibilities, the only truncated triangle numbers. That is amazing to me. And 666, for me, it's only by default because it has the same digits, right? But yeah, this is amazing. This is how you know these are not coincidences. It's just combinations of holy letters that are impossible to be coincidence. It's just, the probability is like 1 in billions. Look at that. Amazing. We need to remember these: 15, 36, 66, 105, 153, and 666. I'm going to like copy these charts down and put it somewhere on my website or something. This is very important for us to be aware of in order to read these messages, okay? Again, you're just eating the spiritual meat. Eat the meat, and then later it's going to nourish your spirit. So as you live your life and you see these messages, things will be clearer to you. So don't try to get too mental with it. It's not your body we're feeding, it's your spirit. So just eat, okay? Another function that they have in common is the reverse triangle numbers. So that's very easy. 153 and backwards 351, they both are triangles. And because 666 is the same digit, it is also a reverse triangle number. But it is still very, very rare to have a holy letter also be a reverse triangle. So what about this triangle and triangles? Let's look at that. So not only is 153 triangular, but its reverse 351 is also triangular. So 351 has a nature totally dissimilar to 153. Numbers with different digits that remain triangular when written backward are exceedingly rare. Of course, if the triangle number has identical digits like 666, then it's automatically reversible. And then he gives us a list in the back. But the thing I really like about this book is that he solves the equations with mathematical proof, and also he links everything to the Bible, so he can go back and say, okay, and then gematria, right? So he links everything together. It's very, very concrete information. Triangles within triangles. So 153 and 666. So 153, when you break it up into triangle numbers, you have 3, 45, and 105. So these are 3 triangle numbers. And when you break 666 up into 3 triangle numbers, you get 15, which is truncated 153. We just explained what truncated is when you cut it up into parts, right? The tau cross, I'm not going to get into that. Maybe never, but it's in the book. Depends on what Ruach Ha Kodesh brings to my attention. And then you have the 351, which of course is reversed 153. So what he's doing is he's showing how every triangle number represents something and it means something, and he's showing how this is like a mimic, sacrilegious mockery of Yahuwah, pretty much. So it's just showing the parody of the 666 and how it tries to parody the 153. Okay, now we are getting to the main point, the main event, what all this is leading to. So in the last video, if you remember, we did the Trinity function on 666. And unlike 153, it was not able to reproduce itself. 153 has the resurrection property. So when you do the Trinity function on 153, you get 153. When you do it on 666, you get 648. So it falls short. But nothing unusual yet. Now, however, apply this rule to 648 and a new image appears until something exceptional happens. So when you do the Trinity function on 666, you get 648. And then you do it on 648, you get 792. And then you do it on 792, you get 1080. And when you do it on 1080, you get 153. What? 666 transforms to 153. So I want you to also notice this point. There are 5 steps between 666 and 153. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 steps to get from here to get to here. With all multiples of 3, 666 transforms into Yahushua's celestial number. In fact, they span 5 terms. So what I'm saying is this is a mathematical proof, mathematical description as to why there are 5 groups to the Yahushua's bridal army and 5 groups to Satan's army, because that is exactly the steps that it takes to transform from that evil to that holy. It takes 5 steps, 5 groups. We, us, 5. Boom, drop the mic. I haven't done it in a long. All right, not done. More proof. When did I start loving math like this? I'm like, this is so awesome. Look, guys, check this out. Check this out. Check it out. Look at this. All right, so this is the original and the proper first letter for Christ, okay? The relationship between 153 and 13 is just like mentioned. So we talk about how 13 was one of Satan's number, right? All right, so something is subtracted, not added. Markably, the 5 out of 153. So you have 3 digits, 1, 5, and 3. So when you take the 5 out of 153, what do you get? You get 13. Wow. So in other words, Satan is deficient, wanting, or incomplete. What? Right here. And the Trinity function 5 steps, like I just showed you a few minutes ago, shows that mathematically, but it also shows it this. Jesus is Yahushua is 153 and Satan is 13 because he doesn't have the 5. The 5 groups of the bridal army. We are Yahushua's Ephod. We are the weapon. We are the transformation. What? It is just completely mathematically proving all of the messages that we've been dealing with since Troll Hunters. Look at this. Do you guys see that? 153 and the 13 is missing the 5 because he's incomplete and lacking. So here I thought is amazing too, because when you do this work, everything becomes clearer. Everything becomes clearer. It takes time, but don't give up. Keep searching for his face. Look at this. 13, which is Satan's number. All the names of Satan boil down to 13 in one way or the other. So when you do the Trinity function on 13, you get 28, 520, and then you get 133, and it repeats. It goes 133, 55, 250, 133, 55, 250. It gets stuck, like it never goes further. And he is saying that the sum of all of these numbers, 13 plus 28 plus this plus this plus this, equals 999, and 999 is just evil. Yeah, this is like, what does he say? He's talking about like it represents the circle of hell, where you just keep going in circles. You never evolve, you never go forward, you just keep going round and round. The 13. And this makes sense because all of us are seeing the 133 and we're like, what does the 133 mean? Well, let's look at 133 because we talked about it before. So here the will figure right here includes 1, 5, and 3, yet it never reaches 1, 5, 3, or 13. However close it may approach, symbolically speaking, it moves condemned to unending steps. 1, 3, 3, 5, 5, 250 to 1, 3, 3. Clearly 13 never touches our Lord or itself, Yahuwah. Like Dante's circles, Satan's number tumbles and swirls forever through an endless triad. Scripturally, this figure parallels John 14:30 when Jesus, referring to Satan, says, "He has no hold on me." So in the final years of tribulation, the mark of the Antichrist will be Lucifer's triangle quantity 666, a grotesque insult to the Holy Trinity. And again, he's showing 153 reversed and the truncated 153. Okay, so the 133, because it just showed how when you do the Trinity function on it, it ends up with 133 and then it gets stuck at 133. And when we did the holy letter line for 133, it is talking about the Prince of Persia coming. The Prince of Persia is what American Christians call the Antichrist. Okay, the Antichrist is the Prince of Persia. And we talked about possibly in the 4.5 years, that is when he is going to appear, or at least I know he's already here on the scenes. I know that, but I mean, his mask is going to fall and everybody will be quite in agreement and everyone will understand who he is. Okay, it will no longer be a mystery. So we also use this letter line because we had a message about when you're being attacked by evil spirits that you have to praise Yahushua. Here we also talked about how we would be receiving the premonition of his arrival, and that's exactly what happened last year and this year. And so this holy letter 133 is huge, guys. I'm not going to read it. You can pause it and read it. It's on my website. A lot of you have seen those old videos when we were dealing with 133. And as we go forward, we're going to understand it more. But I just wanted to bring up the fact that this is a very important letter line. So before it has, I did the same thing with the 804. Do you remember in 2 videos ago, we were looking at 804 because it was the time of the screenshot, and we looked it up with the Bible verse. So we had the Bible verse for Ecclesiastics 3 verse 1 through 3, and the second holy letter to the letter line 804 was 313, and it matched seasons. And so I said, let's do that again. Let's take 1309 and look up the Bible verse 1309. So all I did was type in Google verse 13 chapter 9 Bible verse, and they gave me a list of all the Bible verses that were chapter 13, 9, and an amazing thing happened. 13, 9, who hath ears to hear, let him hear. Check this out. Revelation 13, 9, if any man have an ear, let him hear. Wow! Look at that. It's the same doggone verse. Revelation 13:9. If any man have an ear, let him hear. And Matthew 13:9. Who hath ears to hear, let him hear. Tell me that's a coincidence. Go ahead. Be like, yeah, that's a coincidence. You tripping. Yeah, go ahead. Right. Sure. Why not? And what does he say? And the disciples came and unto them, why speakest thou unto them in parables? He answered and saith unto them, because it is given unto you to know the mysteries of the kingdom in heaven, but to them it is not given. For whoever hath, to him shall be given, and he shall have more abundance. But whoever hath not, from him shall be taken away even that he hath. And for me, this really represents the 153 and the 13, because the 13 is lacking the 5, right? Therefore I speak to them in parables, because they see not, and hearing they hear not, neither do they understand. And in them is fulfilled the prophecy of Isaiah, which saith, by hearing ye shall hear, and shall not understand, and seeing ye shall see, and shall not perceive. For this people's heart is waxed gross, and their ears are dull of hearing, and their eyes have closed, lest at any time they shall see with their eyes, and hear with their ears, and should understand with their heart, and should be converted, and I should heal them. But blessed are your eyes, for they see, and your ears, for they hear. So guys, that is, look, 1309, expectation, cloud, visibility. So visibility, seeing and hearing. This escape by flight, tidings, the news. So you hear the news and you see the coming of the Prince of Persia, premonition, right? Why is he speaking to us in parables? Why is he speaking to us through, why do we have to go through all of this? Why do we have to decode all of this? He just explained it in the Bible verse. This is why. Revelation 13:9. If any man have an ear, let him hear. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here is the patience and the faith of the saints. And I beheld another beast coming up from out of the earth, and he had 2 horns like a lamb, and he spoke like a dragon. So this is specifically talking about the Antichrist. Revelation 13:9, which comes from 133, which is the image of 13 that just keeps going in a circle. Do you see the beauty? It's like painting a picture. It's so clear when you see this. Look, this is totally proving the letter lines are real. This is real. Look, and I don't even have to read this, guys. You should know this by heart. You can read it yourself, but it is totally talking about the Antichrist and the beast, the mark of the beast. And he had power to give life over the image of the beast. What are we just talking about? The numbers are images. And the image of the beast should speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. We talked about the beast and the beast system. We've talked about the 5 groups of Satan's army as well. So that again is the 5. So we talked about Revelation 19:19 and all of that. We talked about the beast system being, the foot of Nebuchadnezzar's statue that is destroyed, that last kingdom of his feet. And so this point right here is leading up to the 011. The 011 represents the people who will be taking this mark of the beast, okay? So that's not for this video, but please stick with this, because if you keep eating the spiritual food, things will be so much clearer to you. Your dreams will be clearer. All of the communications that you're receiving from heaven will just be clearer, okay? Don't give up. So the last verse that I saw that had the 13:9, the last one that made sense in the situation, I think maybe there were 1 or 2 I didn't use. For we know in part and we prophesy in part. And that's exactly what the letter line is saying here. Premonition, right? That means that you see something in advance before it happens. So 13:9, we prophesy in part, but when that which is perfect is come, then that which is part shall be done away. When I was a child, I spake as a child, I understood as a child, I thought as a child, but when I became a man, I put away childish things. For now we see through a glass darkly, but then face to face. Now I know in part, but then shall I know, even as also I am known. And now abideth faith, hope, charity, these 3, but the greatest of these, charity. So the most important part here being the same message that we're receiving right now, that it is time to grow up. We are no longer understanding things as children. We are now having spiritual meat for spiritual maturity for the 5 groups of the bridal army. Okay, so here we are at the end. And so if you guys have understood what I've talked about over the past couple of videos, then you're ready. We talked about 804, we talked about 153, we talked about 351, we talked about 666. And now we're going to talk about the 5 groups of the bridal army and the Holy Spirit, which is 1081. And now you should have everything you need to be able to understand this, okay? And the more you understand, the more you're going to see how fantastic and miraculous this thing is. It is not by chance. It is not coincidence. This is a message. Okay, so this is awesome. So there you go. That's what we're going to talk about next time, the 5 groups and how mathematically it relates with the Holy Spirit. And hopefully we're going to go through and understand more about the 5 groups and what they represent and what we can see in the future, what we could expect very soon. Thank you for joining me. I pray that this has been spiritual nourishment, meat pie for you. Thank you, Yahuwah, for this wonderful message. And glory and honor to the Most High Father for helping us to understand His communications better in these, at the end of this age, in these last days. Be well. I pray it was a blessing to you. Shalom, saints.